as we always, thanks, KT.
Got you.
So as we always like to do, would love to hear just a little bit about kind of some celebrations you guys got going on. I would love to hear just some good things that are going on in your world. Vern is exempt based upon his location, so he does not get to respond today.
Well, thanks.
But the rest of you, I would love to hear a little bit more. What's some good things we're celebrating in your world? And I can call on you too. I'm not afraid to do that.
I'm in Puerto Rico.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Oh my goodness. And you jumped on the meeting? Wow. Crosby office is like showing up. Okay. Well done, Joy. That's awesome. What's fun about Puerto Rico is Christine Lampertson is also in Puerto Rico right now. So that's wildly fun. That's so fun. Okay. Now Joy can't talk the rest of the time either. So somebody who's in sub 10-degree weather, give me something we're celebrating.
Kelly said Kelly is our brand new agent in Fargo. She just signed on yesterday. And so Kelly said that she just joined our group. This is her first meeting. And she is super excited.
Kelly, we are excited
Kelly.
to have you. Fun factoid, Kelly, you don't know this, but it took me an hour and a half to move your license yesterday in the great state of Minnesota because yesterday I did not think the great state of Minnesota was that great, thanks to Paul's Portal. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Chris says it's above zero.
See, my kind of girl right there, Chris. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Just the simple joys of life, you guys. All right. Well, we are going to talk about some birthdays today, as we like to do this month in the month of February. Kelly, I'm sorry, I don't know when your birthday is yet. I will learn it, I promise. Hopefully it's not February because that would be embarrassing. But Regina, happy birthday in a couple days, right? What's the third today? Okay, so a couple days. Yep. Corey.
Thank you.
Megan, happy birthday to her. I don't know if she's on, and Mitch as well. So happy birthday, you guys. Hopefully we're all doing something special and exciting. Now, I have great news for you all. It is February 3rd, which means your 1099s have officially been delivered. You should have received an email from QuickBooks or QBO. It could have come from. It will ask you to create an account, by the way. So you do need to create an account in order to log in. If you're like super anti that, that's fine. Your MD can get it for you. It's not that big of a deal, but that's how you would have received it. We did verify them. Hopefully we got it all done and correct. If you feel there's a discrepancy, please let us know so that we have an opportunity to correct that for you and make sure that we're talking about all the right things inside of that space. So does anybody have any questions on the 1099 before we move on? I know it's a big thing. I don't get my taxes done until October because I like to keep my money as long as I possibly can. So I file numerous extensions. Those of you who are better humans than I and get it done by April 15th, kudos to you. But nevertheless, anybody got any questions? Or is that pretty self-explanatory? Okay, I'm assuming self-explanatory. Also, in case anybody's wondering, Darcy's excited that the sun is shining, which is also a good thing. And Kelly's birthday is in September, so we'll make sure to address that in September. You should have received a text message from me yesterday talking about the check-in survey. So this is something that I like to do. I like to say annually, although I think I forgot last year in the pure chaos of my life at that time. So I don't know that it went out last year, but this is important to me and it's important to our leadership team. It's a very quick little survey for you guys to do. We do something that's called, you basically rank us 1 to 10, right? Give us some feedback on that. And then just a couple specific questions on what you're looking for from us this year going into it. So I think I have 16 responses right now. And so that's great. I really appreciate the quick response. You can do it on your phone. It doesn't take a lot of time. I would love to get 100% participation in this thing if we can, because it does matter to us. What the feedback you guys give us right here directly drives, where we spend money, trainings that we bring to you, different well, really different tools or resources, anything that we talk about, a lot of it we can tie back to not only our own initiatives as a leadership team, but also just from the pure fact that no, it was here. The agents told us this. And I forgot to text this yesterday, and I apologize. This is completely anonymous. I had one agent yesterday reach out and say, "Hey, did you find my comments funny?" And I was like, "What comments?" Because I didn't look yet. And they were very sweet. But then I told him, I said, "No, this is an anonymous survey. I don't know whose comments are who." And she said, "Oh, well, now it's not as funny." And I was okay. So I forgot to tell you, it is anonymous. I don't know your. It's a way to give you, allow you to give true, honest, complete feedback to us. I would rather have the truth than a perceived truth, because you can't fix stuff. It's broken. And I know we're not perfect. Are we trying and aiming? Absolutely. But I know there's things that we can do better for you guys. And we just want an opportunity to do that. So please fill this out. I'll send another email out with this so that you got it. Staff, this is also something I want you to do. So feel free to chime in. Next up, you will start to see the wonderful bane of my existence for the past, I don't know how many months. You guys, Katie is so mean. I'm just going to tell you, she's so mean. She forced me to sit down and do a friggin' policy manual. And here's the sad part, you guys. So you all know Darcy is amazing. So Darcy actually started, we went out and we crafted, I don't know, 6 or 7 different policy manuals from other companies to pull in, because our E&O insurance provider said, "Hey, you haven't updated yours in a while," which was true. And in order to get our reduced rate on our errors and omissions insurance, we have to submit an updated policy manual. And so I asked the team, I said, "Hey, who wants to do this?" And then everybody said, "Hey, you own the company. You need to sign off on this." I was like, that's terrible. So Darcy was super sweet. She started it. And then Katie backed me into the corner in a meeting and hijacked it and made me go over all the things that she had questions on to get it done. So in case you're ever wondering, surround yourself with people who are great and put you in a corner. So now it's done, finally. But what's going to happen here is you will get a copy of this, agents. And then as part of this, there will be I need an acknowledgement of receipt. And this is, it's not saying you agree. It's not saying you don't agree. It's simply saying you've received a copy of this. So you'll start to see this coming through. I think some of you maybe have already seen this, which is fine. I'm just kind of bringing it up here as a reminder to everybody. So you'll get a receipt form that'll come through. The policy manual is available through Bay as well. So inside of Bay, the quick links, and then there's the info agent policies link, and that'll bring you to a flip book of the policies as well if you ever have a question. Our goal is to try to share a little bit or systematize some of the questions that people have and give a resource to it. And unfortunately, the team was not wrong. It needed to be updated. Our errors and omissions insurance people were right. It needed to be updated because the one we were operating on was from 2004. So it is almost, it's old. So anyway, now it's done and it's pretty. Thanks to Faith. Is Faith on? Faith is on. She doesn't have her camera up, but that's okay. Faith made it pretty, which is great, and I love that. And then we finally did it. So hoorah! So your MD will be sending these out to you to sign. And it could be, and again, all we need is a signature that you've received a copy of it. And if you think I'm going to just tell you. I promise you that there's an error in there that I left on purpose. And if you find the Easter egg, I'll have a little gift for you if you find it. But I'm also not going to lie. It's kind of long and it's not that fun to read. So if you find the Easter egg, I'm really proud of you and I have a little gift for you. LT, anything you want to add to that, by the way? I know we all kind of worked on this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is the policy manual of how we do business, how we're doing business. It's just in writing form. So we didn't change anything on how we do business or what we're doing. This just puts it in writing form so that everybody's on the same page. That's all.
Yeah. And mostly so that, I'm kept accountable to the way we say we're going to do things. So there's that too.
Also that.
Yeah. You're also going to remember, team, last month we talked about the outstanding agent fees agreement. And so this is something that your managers will continue to work through and getting copies of this from you. You will be looking at end of the quarter, Darcy or somebody will be reaching out and making sure that you're aware Again, if you have pending transactions, we're not gonna pull or do anything else. We can do cards, ACH. It doesn't matter to us. It's just a way to limit our liability on outstanding fees. So we've been burned a little bit, so we're trying to change things how we do. Fun things there. My next super exciting thing to talk to you guys about, you are going to absolutely love. Remember the wonderful world of FinCEN. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so this was effective 12/31/25. It got postponed because the federal government can't, seem to get things in order. And so now March 1st is the new go live date. And apparently we've been told that it is locked in. It's not moving. So we did go over this. We're just going to highlight some of this stuff again here. So, essentially what this is cash sales that need to be reported to make sure that there's no money laundering is essentially what we're looking at. It's kind of a fun thing to think about if you go down the rabbit hole. But so any cash sales using trusts or entities to buy residential real estate less than 4 units. Remember, we defined residential real estate at the federal level by 1 to 4 units. Okay. So, it literally says right there. Sorry, I didn't need to get on my high horse. See, okay, it's on the screen. Condos, townhomes, or CICs, also known as association homes. So these are all included. Commercial, anything 5 units and above, or a full commercial status, meaning there is a non-dwelling unit on it. I also found out mixed units. So like in some of our markets, we're going to have, retail on the main, 1, 2 apartments upstairs. Mixed units are also exempt because I do a fair amount of that. And I know many of you do as well, given the smaller community natures that some of us are in. So it's one of those things that are exempt too. However, cash that includes private lending and mortgage broker without anti-fraud measures. So the anti-fraud measures, if you I think this is funny. If you go to a mortgage lender and they don't have anti-fraud measures, that makes me wonder, should you be using them? But anyway, so in the event that a mortgage broker does not have anti-fraud measures, then it would trigger a report on the FinCEN new ruling. So private lending, we do have some people that do hard money lending, right? Choosing people to purchase money or lend money at a different rate than they would get from a traditional bank. Or they don't necessarily even have access to it. They don't have the credit score, so they go to hard money or private lending. So there's some different measures there that you just need to be aware of. So exemptions, you can see these. Again, we talk about this, you guys, so that you're aware. You need to be aware. It's not really your job. Okay, this is a title company or an attorney's job to do the reporting and to go through the measures to understand it. However, I and the team feel that it's your responsibility to be aware of it so that you can remember this little thing in your brain that says, wait a minute, this is a weird, funny deal. They got $1 million from nowhere. My favorite is I'm waiting on a settlement. That's my favorite one I've gotten. But so just to kind of a reminder, it's a trigger for you to then talk to the title company, about whatever's needed in order to do the reporting. And hopefully they'll do their job and they'll report it too. So anyway, exemptions, transfer of an easement resulting from death. So a TOD, transfer resulting from divorce, not a TOD, but sometimes people might say this. Transfer supervised by the court, bankruptcy, transfer made by an individual to a trust in which the individual is the grantor, the person putting it in the trust. And then ultimately when there is no reporting person. So a couple of exemptions inside of that space, but not a whole lot to really consider. Again, who's responsible? This is not a job you need to be aware of. Otherwise, we'd be doing a lot more training on it. We just want to hit the high levels. The closing agent, title company, attorneys would be the reporting person. So, this would be one of those things where it's always wise to use a third party for closings. Some people are like, I don't know, my bank lender can do it because it's cash. Oh, maybe. But you may want to just consider alternative measures in the future. So details, again, all they're going to talk about is, the property, address, price, how it was paid, beneficiaries, birth date, citizenship status, a couple other details on that form. It's a pretty simple form. It goes to the Treasury Department on file and then ultimately goes, my understanding is from the Treasury Department, it goes in and it gets matched against people's tax statements, right? And so they try to do, and if there's a discrepancy on where something was filed and not, that can trigger an audit and potential issues. So it's a whole thing. So this is not a public record, just so you're aware, and penalties can range from $1,300 to $100,000 for non-reporting. Plus, if there is an actual issue, then there is criminal action, and I think it's criminal by the dollar amount that I've heard anyway in the court systems that you could be potentially liable. Not you as an agent, unless you're the buyer. Just use good money. That's all we're asking for. Clean your money well, friends. That's it. Any questions on FinCEN?
I see you got something in the chat there
Oh, hey, thanks.
from Kelly Kraft, our new agent.
Kelly. So a 503c commercial interest for up to $2 million that is going through donations for purchase. We have found the right place, but totally, yeah, okay, fantastic. Yeah, and there's an example where we wouldn't really have any issues in that, because hopefully the 503c is actually legit and doing their job.
Here's the
So-
biggest thing. Here's the
Oh, go
biggest
ahead.
thing that agents need to know is that you need to prep both your sellers and your buyers, that they're going to need to provide more information than normal if they're buying in cash because of this FinCEN ruling. Social security numbers of them, as well as all of the people in the trust or in the LLC, right? Even if one person has the right to sign for the LLC, they still have to provide information for everybody there. That's the biggest thing that we as real estate agents need to know, so that we can prep our clients that they're going to need these things, so get them sooner rather than later.
Yep.
So, for
Good.
example, in our case, a lot of times, let's just say hypothetically, we got a buyer from North Carolina that sold their house for $350,000. It's cash. They're moving up here. They're purchasing for cash. That's a non-FinCEN issue, or do we still need to report the source where that money came from for her purchase?
Are they an LLC or a trust?
No, she's just individual, widowed.
Yeah. So that the LLC or trust pieces is when this triggers.
Okay.
Yep.
Mostly because non-clean money is usually held within trusts, because you can hide the beneficiaries through multiple layers of LLCs around the country. And same thing, LLCs, you can do shadow box LLCs, or you can do holding entity LLCs. So there's a lot of different ways to hide yourself. Not that we're going to talk about that on a recorded line today. Any other questions on FinCEN? Does anybody else notice that it looks like Vern's like climbing a tree? I don't know what he's doing over there.
I think he's golf. It looks like he's golfing.
I don't know.
He's
Okay.
golfing in some palm
Iguana
trees down in
hunting. Come on,
Florida, the way it
guys.
looks to me.
All right, there.
Or Cali.
All right. So here's the other deal. VPN requirement. How many of you saw that North Star MLS is now requiring VPN when you travel abroad, such as Puerto Rico? Okay. A handful of us. So here's the deal, friends. Because we care about you here at Crown, we already have the technology in place to do this at no additional cost. It just took me a minute to actually get a hold of our IT guy to determine that. So we are going to establish VPN connections. So we're going to get that set up on all of our network stuff here for you. What it's going to require from you is nothing other than a little bit of time and planning. Okay, so this is not something we're going to set up on you right away. But if you know you're traveling abroad and you still want to have access to your stuff, you can certainly go find like a small paid for VPN service. It's not an uncommon thing, couple bucks a month. You can get it. However, we are now in the process of implementing this at no cost to you. The way it would work is you would just let one of your managers know, hey, I'm looking to I'm going to go traveling for a little bit here. I wonder if I can get access to the VPN. VPN is a virtual private network. Think of it like it's a big tunnel, that goes from your device back to our network here in the US, and allows you so it looks as though you're accessing the North Star servers from the Park Rapids office or the Crosby office, wherever you're going to be. So that's how that works. And North Star is doing that just to make sure they had some data issues and some data mining issues come back on one of their servers that got attacked. So they're locking it down because that attack came from abroad. So this is their choice, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. But really, all you need to do is let us know. We'll get you in touch with our IT guys, and they need like 15, 20 minutes to put the device or the client software on your laptop or well, it'd be a laptop if you're traveling. I don't know why you'd bring a desktop computer, but anyway, so they can put that on there. It is a mobile app too, so I think they can put it on a mobile device if that's how you prefer to travel. And then you sign into it. It's a two-factor authentication, and boom, you're in and off you go. So it's not the end of the world. It's a pretty easy component to you. Again, no cost to you. I think our Travis, our IT guy, I think he said he probably needs 2 weeks to finish setting it up. So if anybody's doing anything, by all means, please let me know. I know we had one agent who was going somewhere, so we found an alternative solution. But just so you know, again, this is something we are working on for you. So
Are you able to find out if I'll need it for Puerto Rico since it's a U.S. territory?
That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that. My gut would say no. But it's a good question. I will find out for you. That's what I will do. I will find out, Joy. Yeah, it's a good question. And any outlying territories. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Any other questions on that one? Cool beans. Katie, this one was yours.
This is. So I don't know if any of you guys pay attention to the hot dish, but our Pat Peter, what's his name? Brandon Ager.
Which one?
Our political Paul. His name is Paul, which is my dad's name, so I should remember that. Anyway,
you really should.
Paul Ager is part of our political action committee in Minnesota. And so what he's looking for in particular is title fraud and scam attempts. So all of those emails that we've been dealing with where people are trying to sell a vacant property, but they're not actually the seller. I'm sure everybody has some kind of story associated with that. If you have a story, Paul needs them so that he can then go to the legislature and say, we need to do something about this. So if you have any stories that you can send him, please do. The other piece was property insurance impact. If you have any clients who have had to sell their home because their property insurance went up too high and now they can't afford it, that's the type of stories that Paul is looking for. This is how we get legislation passed so that our clients aren't taken advantage of. This is what Paul's job is, right? But he needs your help. So if you have a minute, there's his email right there. And you can go from there.
So if you guys ever wonder, what RPAC does, these are the things that RPAC does, right? And this is our intermediary. So Matthew and Paul, Matthew Spellman and Paul Egger, they are on staff with Minnesota Realtors. And this is one of those things that they've been trying to basically have testimony to give to committees to say, we have a problem. We either need to figure out a solution on insurance issues, which is the big deal. Obviously, I think we all know our insurance went up pretty significantly this year. So these are all good things, but this is what RPAC does, right? It's helping advocate on behalf of not only the industry, but also homeowners, period, right? And so I'm a huge proponent of being an RPAC supporter. I strongly encourage everybody on our team at a minimum of $15 to be a supporter. If you can get to 50 or 100, that's great. You can take a little bit of a deduction on it at times. So there's that because it's a political contribution. It is important to say too, also. So I've sat on RPAC. I've sat on the RPAC committee of the state for a couple of years, and it is an incredibly purple organization. They're not red, they're not blue, they're very purple, and they're very focused on the issues, not the people. And it's a little challenging, if you're really honest, because sometimes you get in the room and you decide, okay, we have this much money. It's about $400,000 that gets contributed across the state. Which candidates are we going to back, and which entities are we going to support? Which lobbyists are we going to, kind of go through? So, there's all these things that come into play on this stuff, and it's really interesting to sit in the room and realize, okay, I have to put on my RPAC hat, right? We always talk about that, our purple hat. Sometimes we bring purple hats and we wear them. My head's too big, so I don't look good in baseball caps. But anyway, we wear them as a reminder to say, hey, what's the real issues that this group is going after? And it's housing, right? And then you begin to support, you sponsor campaigns or dinners or fundraising events or whatever for candidates whose housing initiatives align with the RPAC initiatives, Minnesota Realtors initiatives, as it relates to housing. And so it's a really cool thing. So if you guys are ever interested, if politics are your jam, you should get involved in RPAC, like hands down. It's a really cool group. So anyway, now we're on a high horse. I'm going to get off. Be an RPAC contributor. That's what I'm suggesting. All right, February training. We are excited to finally share with you what, KT?
So Faith is going to talk more about this a little later, but Coldwell Banker now has given us access to Canva Premium, Canva Enterprise. And so if you haven't used Canva before, it is a fantastic software system, well, app, whatever it is, that allows you to make all of your marketing materials super easy. They have an AI component. If you guys were on some of my trainings last year, like there was one time where I put in my information for my slideshow presentation, and I was like, just make me a slideshow. And it did it. And it looked way better than anything that I could ever do, to be quite honest. And so Canva is super helpful, but there are a lot of pieces in it. I know that not everybody knows how to use Canva, so we're going to do a training on it. Just a note, there is a training tomorrow that's Coldwell Banker specific, but it's Canva led on February 4th at 3 p.m. So you should have gotten a email about that, and I'll send out another one when I send out the recording for this meeting.
And that email, just so you all know, the one for the training tomorrow at 3 would have come from the brand. It would not have come from Crown. Excuse me. It would have come from Coldwell Banker. So just be aware of that. I don't know how many of you read them, so maybe it's in your spam or not, but Katie will send out the link for that. So if you're unfamiliar, or if you don't go in desk much, like this to me is a massive value add, an incredible win for us. Nothing against Marketing Center. There was great assets in there, but Marketing Center was clunky and it was slow, and many of you hated it to the point where you didn't even use it. So you just went to Canva anyway. And believe it or not, the brand heard us. We yelled at them and said, hey, this isn't working. We're all taking the content and putting it into Canva because that's what people understand. And Canva did it better. So give us Canva. And they did, which I think was a huge win. So pretty awesome things. Faith, you came on camera. Was there something you wanted to add, or were you just...
No, I was just on the ready just in case anything came up, but I'll talk more about it later.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. One of my two favorite things we're going to talk about today is something that... There's two things that are really exciting. This is the first one for you, just in case you're wondering. Our masterminds, I would say that we've been doing, so we will host a monthly mastermind. We usually will send out the topics to you. We share them right here for you as well. They have been phenomenal. The last couple specifically, the amount of insights I've gotten from you guys and the collaborative tone that is happening in that room is really special. And many of you have been in those rooms, and I appreciate that a lot because it gives a lot of context and ideas, and it's just been a great spot. So while it's been super, super great, one of the things that I have been in my coaching sessions, I have been helping a lot of agents with is listing presentations. And so many of you are, I don't want to say struggling. Struggling is not the right word because you're still doing great things. I think what I would say is you're recognizing there's gaps, right? There's a way to improve what you already have. And so as we move forward, we're replacing with a potential little series of fun events. So next month, there is no mastermind. Instead, we are replacing it with what we have dubbed the Crown Listing Lab. And this is going to be a series of trainings. So the Listing Lab is going to be a series of trainings that we are going to build out for you as we go. And the first one we're really going to talk about is ultimately is going to be about your presentations. Now, following the presentations, just to give you a little precursor, we will then also go into the listing league, right? So last year we did the listing league. It's still my favorite. That Katie thought it was going to be dumb, and many of you loved it. So I'm just going to hold it over her until the end of time, or until you all come back to me and say that was dumb. We don't ever want to do that again. So
yes, I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. It's fine. You were right.
Oh, did you hear that all of that was recorded? I'm going to put that so when she texts me, that's what it's going to say. That would be really funny to do, actually. Okay, so we are going to replace this. This is going to be This will ultimately take place, I believe, the February and March mastermind dates. So these will be Wednesdays starting on the 11th, the 18th, the 25th, and the 4th. Okay. So what this is going to do, this is going to be a workshop methodology designed at perfecting your listing presentation. Okay. So the first three are going to be virtually based. We're going to run from 9 to 10. We are going to talk about we're going to talk about concepts. We're going to collaborate on concepts. Then you're going to have homework. Okay. Like this is not you can show up and just, take the information. That's totally fine. But I would really encourage you, if you haven't looked at your listing presentation in a while, let's get really specific over the next month and get this baby dialed in. Okay. And that's what we're going to do the first 3 sessions. Okay. Those first 3 weeks. But then the fourth one, we're going to do, we're actually going to meet in person, location TBD on March 4th. And this will be, it kind of depends upon who registers on where we're going to go, if I'm honest with you. But if you join us in this, then we're going to have a little bit of a battle in person, presenting our listing presentations. And you can choose who you want to present to. If you want somebody who's going to be really mean to you and challenge you and love you in not a combative way, but an expressive way, you can present to me, right? And I'll give you some objections. If you want to feel super incredible and amazing, you can present to Katie, right? It'll be a great time. So either way, there'll be lots of opportunities for you to share and then kind of work through that. And then we're going to give real life feedback on the presentations too, like what made sense, what was your language that you used, all these other things. And if you think you have an incredible listing presentation, I really want you to join because I really want your input. If you've tweaked yours over the last couple of years and found stuff that works, I would really like you to join because this is the good thing. So this is the Crown Listing Lab. So this is going to be specific for agents who are looking to feel more confident in listing appointments, right? People who need to clearly communicate their value without sounding salesy, because that's not really what we're into. Improving pricing and commission conversations, right? Like, how is that working for you? Are you doing good? Are you losing money? What does that look like? Creating presentations that feel authentic and professional. We're going to talk about increasing your consistency and conversion with sellers. How do you get them from the appointment to the contract, right? And that conversion piece. And then whether you're new or highly experienced, this lab is ultimately designed to meet you wherever you are in that spectrum, because there's always ways to tweak and there's always things to share. Whether you're brand new because you bring insights that and vernacular that sometimes those of us who've been in this industry a while, we're like, oh man, I just thought people knew what FHA was, right? Or whatever, right? And those are great questions. And same thing on the other side, really experienced people are gonna be able to say, well, here's what I found that's gonna work well at turning the conversation this way, right? And these are all gonna be great things. So at the end of this 4-week sprint, here's what you're gonna end up with. We're gonna help you build a fully personalized listing presentation. It's a modular system. So like next week, we're going to talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about is I came up with there's 17 building blocks to a good listing presentation. 17 is what I came up with. I actually kind of thought it's like a train maybe and like 17 railroad cars. And I thought about it's a whole thing. Anyway, but you're going to have this fully personalized listing presentation, a modular system that you can adapt. So you can take those 17 things and remove and add depending upon the client. Clear language for pricing, services, and next steps, and a presentation that you're confident in sitting down every single time. It's a system that we hope you'll be able to use as we go into the listing league and potentially well beyond that. So again, this is 4 weeks of guided sessions. Okay, the first 3 will be virtual. The 4th week will actually be in person. I messed up there, but we'll have some assignments for you to work on to help you move forward so you don't get stuck, right? Working together as a collaborative group here, and then the final in-person presentation showcase. So each week we're going to build on the concepts that we have in the previous week, and I think it will be a lot of fun. Here's a couple of things we're going to talk about in case you're wondering. Like I said, the 17 building blocks of an effective listing presentation. How many blocks do you have in your current listing presentation? Might be a question you want to ask. If it's more than 17, great, I have something to learn. If it's less, then great, you have something to learn. But again, you may not use them all. They're just there depending upon whatever your business is going to require. We're going to talk about your personal story and professional positioning. Market analysis. We just did our CE class last month about CMAs. Notice how that kind of parlays right into this. Okay, it's almost like we have a strategy. And the menu of services. I think by now you all know that I'm a fan of menu of services and allowing you to articulate your value, but allowing the consumer to choose the level of service that they would like from you. Marketing plans, what are you actually going to do, right? And how are you going to articulate that? What's the seller experience going to look like? Objection handling, confident closings, and then obviously the visualization and presentation flow. So our final experience, again, is going to include live presentations where you get to actually showcase your listing. And it's not in a spot to be made fun of. It's not in a way to do anything else. It's a way to actually just be supportive, give some grows, give some glows, and then an opportunity for you just to get better. So it's about confidence, clarity, and mastery, never perfection, because I can't teach you perfection because I'm not it. So there's that. You will see, I'm going to send out a little email summary after the meeting today. You'll get it sometime today with the link to register to get you into the Crown Listing Lab. Okay. I need to know that you're in only so that we're there and so you can watch for that email. I would really encourage you guys to join. I am actually really excited about this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's what I have for you on this. Do you have any thoughts, any questions as we talk about what we're going to do over the next four weeks? In a week, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do. What if you can't make all the dates? I already looked at my schedule and there's a prior commitment that I scheduled 3 months ago.
Well, then I expect you to move that prior commitment because this is more important.
Come on.
No, I would say,
Okay.
Again, we'll record the sessions because obviously we understand that there's things happen, right? Closings are going to get moved and you don't have control over it or whatever else. So like, we understand that. So it's just kind of a show up and, go and do it. The one thing I will say, the in-person, if you register the in-person, I really would like you to honor because I think the feedback and opportunity to share with the group is going to be pretty magical. So that would be the one that I would really ask you to prioritize over any of them. But obviously they're all important and we'll record them all so that we have an opportunity to do so.
And then it's a Wednesday, Tuesday? Because the 24th of February is a Tuesday.
Oh, did I do it wrong? It should be all Wednesdays, right, Katie? Isn't that what we came
So
up
it's
with?
the 25th then.
Yes, 25th.
Well, it's the 25th. Thank you, Ashley. Should be Wednesdays. Sorry.
Thank you.
All right. No problem. I
Yep.
just want to make sure.
Nope, that's a good question. I appreciate that.
I think your first slide said 25th.
My first one probably did.
It
Yeah,
That's what I
see?
had. Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley, get it
It's a
together.
discrepancy.
It really is. Sorry.
Well, she found the Easter egg in this presentation. You better get her a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
that's
That's
it.
fair. That's fair.
Marketing dollars?
Maybe. You'll never know what you're going to win. Good. Any other questions on the listing lab here? Okay. Does it sound fun at least? Because I'm pretty jacked about it as I put it together. Okay. So I got Regina shaking her head. So I got one who's in. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. Very cool. All right. So that was the first exciting thing that we're going to talk about. And now here comes the second exciting thing that Katie's going to share with you. Are you ready, Katie?
No, yeah, go ahead. So AI, I know that a lot of you use AI already, right? You use ChatGPT to help write your ads for your listings. You use it to ask about contracts. You use it to ask about pieces of how I should do this, how to overcome objection handling, right? Some of you may even use it to change your photos, right? Virtually stage them. We are bringing you, as part of our value to you guys, our own AI bot. And so its name is REMY, because Brandon wanted to name him REMY.
I thought it'd be cute.
Yeah, it is cute. And so REMY is the Crown-based AI. So it has all of our Crown policies that you just saw, which is why I pushed Brandon to get those done as soon as possible. If you ever have a question about any of the Crown policies they're in there, it has a bunch of, it has all of our Minnesota and North Dakota documents so that when you're asking it a question about a contract, it will know that you're asking based on Minnesota or North Dakota, depending on what office you're in. Okay. It has everything that you need. And the really cool thing is that it will virtually stage your photos for you. You upload a photo, you say, hey, will you virtually stage this? Or you have a garage door open in one of your photos and you want to close it. throw it in here, and it will close it for you. Okay. There are really cool things within this AI world. And we've named him REMY. If you're looking for vendor information in your specific offices, that's going to be in here. All you have to do is you can either text it, literally text it from your phone, or you can jump on the website and ask it questions just like you do with ChatGPT. Or you can call it and you can have an actual voice conversation with it. So we think it's really cool. We know you guys are using ChatGPT already, but to make sure that ChatGPT is that AI product is giving you the correct answers so that you don't get in trouble down the line, this is why we've put this into place for all of you guys. Now, I will say, it is not perfect. We just built it. We will continue building it and making it better based on the conversations that you guys have with it. And so that's what AI is all about, right? Is doing little bits by little bits. This will be rolled out on February 6th, which is on Friday at 10 a.m. And so I will send out a message to everybody with this link. It'll be a Zoom link. We will record it so that you guys can see what the system can do, how you get into it. You will also be receiving an email Friday morning that will get you your login information for this system. What else did I miss? Is there any other cool things in there that I missed?
It's pretty awesome. So here's what I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, right? So here's REMY, by the way. Okay. So REMY, you can tell, has a pretty basic interface, very similar to what we're looking at with ChatGPT or any of the other ones. What's also really cool about this one, for the nerds in the room, right? So the Nano Banana processing underneath Gemini, which is Google's AI tool, which is hands down probably one of the best things. This actually has full access to the pro version of that, so the ability to do everything is absolutely bananas. It's just awesome. But here's what's really fun about some of this stuff here. So I actually had the ability here. So we talked about some language adjustments here as I'm testing it, and I've gone through and you can see I've been playing with it for a little bit, right? So here was an offer that I had, right? And so I actually asked and said, hey, can you draft an email summary? And I uploaded my offer PA, right? My PDF, I uploaded in here and I just said, hey, can you give me, here's a text message that we were negotiating some terms from. And it actually chugged out a full email for me, which is fantastic. And then I gave it some updates just to, clean it up a little bit. And then what's actually fun is you'll have the ability to add on your interface into Gmail. There's a small fee with that, Katie. I don't know if we know that yet, do we?
It's still in beta testing, the Google stuff, so that will be coming hopefully by the end of Q1.
Yeah, so because I'm nerdy, they let me start playing with it. But so actually from here, I was able to draft the email, submit the offer, and then send it to Kim Dahlheimer, as the agent I was working with on this one, which is pretty fun and a lot of this stuff here. Virtual staging, this one was pretty fun. Let's see if I still have it. It took it out. Let's see here. This is so fun though. So you have all these old chats and everything that you can actually work through. But inside of some of this stuff, you can even just say, can you virtually stage this living room with mid-century modern furniture and artwork? And then I'm going to come in. I'm just going to show you how fun this is. I got to go find a photo of a listing though really quick. If somebody has a joke, now would be a really good time to do this. The part of what I say here though is I think it's so fun, you guys, because there's just so many fun things.
And so can we do virtual staging then for free? Will this allow us? Because remember, I just paid $120 from Brock Speroni.
Yeah, you can. So here's the photo I uploaded.
A month ago.
You know what?
We were working on it.
I'm working as fast as I can. Okay. Now, the one thing I will tell you, so REMY actually will go out and it will source many different learning models. So he's not as snappy, which is probably okay in some realms. He's not as snappy as you want him to be because based upon the inquiry and the ask that you want, like right now, it's actually going out. Okay. So it's thinking and it's saying, hey, I'm going to take all these parameters and I'm going to go out and I'm going to find the best learning module that I can in order to return the best thing. So he's a little slower because like ChatGPT is just ChatGPT, right? Gemini is just Gemini and all the other ones that are out there. There's about 360 like known AI algorithms. And as Remy will go through, he'll take your request and he will actually source all of them, right? And so you can see as it goes, right? And so then, boom. Tell me that isn't freaking cool.
What was the before, Brandon? There you go. Thank you.
So it's going to give me two options, before and there's after. And all I told it to do was do mid-century modern furniture and artwork. That's it. Oh, I see Regina's face. She's liking this. Yep, I got you. Yep, I see you. Okay, so like this is the like
I
you
love
can
it.
come through. And there's no more going to box brownie, right? To like handle this stuff. I have no idea if this is going to work, but let's just try it really quick because now I'm kind of curious. I should have done this earlier. I'm going to take this photo. I'm going to say, can you please make this exterior photo let's see if it knows a golden hour photo with a beautiful sunset in the background, along with turning on all exterior lights. I have no idea if this is going to work. This is going to be kind of fun. Anyway, this is just one of the things that it can do. One of the things I really also enjoyed playing with is the idea of the marketing presentations, which is really cool. I will tell you, it is the domain stuff that is in there is whitelisted. So like it may it may not always be able to go pull, so it'll kick back something and say, hey, you need to go talk to somebody else about this. I don't have access to this because we can't let it go search the entire web because again, we're trying to make sure it's an authoritative site and our errors and omissions says we have to physically like put parameters on it if we're going to allow this thing to talk to you guys in a way that is helpful, right? But it can manage to-do lists. It can be a personal assistant. You can text stuff to it like, hey, remind me tomorrow or send me an email tomorrow on this or all these other things. Like you can do all those kind of things inside of here, which is pretty fantastic. Barb says, can you upload a video of a room, not just a photo for staging? Ooh, I don't know about a video. Katie, do you remember that?
I don't. I'm going to have to ask. I already wrote it down.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll get an answer on that, Barb, and we'll let you know. But like, so Brandon's a sucker. If I don't like this photo, I like this photo. Right? Look at how happy it made me. It's just made me so happy. And look, it even turned on all the lights. Notice this little porch light right here. These two are on. Notice this one that I forgot to turn on. Oh. Okay, so anyway, this is my favorite part of this thing. And it's kind of a game-changing component. But so yes, there's no more going to box brownie to update backgrounds or anything else. There's nothing to do virtual staging or anything else. Now, I want to be really careful with this because it is an incredibly powerful tool as we move forward. I would highly recommend that you put virtually staged on the description of any of the photos that you run through REMY or any AI tool. Only reason being is that we're seeing an influx of ethics complaints and because of this, right? People marketing a property that is not the same. It's the same thing where if there's brown dead grass up front, you don't make it green, right? Like you let it be and you try to augment it as best that you can. So we're not looking to fix things or anything else. But like one thing that's helpful, I had a BB hole through a big picture window of one house, and I had the BB hole removed in the photos because I knew we were going to go fix that, right? Like, so that was an easy fix or something like that, which is kind of cool. Which is good. Darcy brings a really good point in the chat. She says, it's recommended that you create a new chat for each request, which depending upon how you use ChatGPT, that may be a little bit different, but that's something that they do recommend is that you create a new chat for every request that you have coming through. But it knows what golden hour is. I'm so tickled here. Anyway, so this is some fun stuff. Another example would be who's got an active listing? Somebody. I just need an address.
19223 191st.
Street.
19223, 191st Street.
Yes.
What city?
Starbuck.
Let's see what it does. I could break it. So just to be clear, right? So here it's going to say, so it's going to help you create, right, a whole marketing package for this thing. So now it's going to ask me to upload photos, which I don't have your photos, unfortunately. Let's just let's just throw a couple in there. I'll just use this one I'm working on and see what it does. This is not your listing, I'm sorry, but I will just kind of do this really quick.
Mhm.
Chuggy, chuggy, chug. Here's the photos. Let's see what it's going to tell me now. So what's really, again, there's a lot of neat ways to use this, and there's many that honestly, like staff, we haven't even figured out yet. Like, and that's the fun thing is like, that's where you guys coming in and breaking it is going to be incredibly awesome. On the back end, we have the opportunity to, like, when the system hits a roadblock, so to speak, we get notified. So we have a list. Oh, an error occurred. That's not great. See, I just broke it, right? Really good selling point. But anyway, the idea here is that when it does hit a roadblock, like there'll be an error in the back end that we can see on a staff level, and then we'll be able to submit that and start to work on resolving that for you. So that's one of the things that we're going to be able to do. Katie talked about the hotline and everything, right? So you can see right here, there's the number. You'll get more of that here in a little bit. But he's just a fun little tool, you guys, and I'm super excited about it. It's I don't know. I think it's going to be a game changer. Again, this is Crown exclusive. I was hoping the brand would bring us something. They wouldn't. And the more and more of you that began using AI for your business, which is the right move, I'm not telling you not to. We wanted to give you a tool that was really laser focused and backed by good information, which is really what this comes down to. So anyway, I don't know. Any other questions on this? Otherwise, we got the training on Friday too.
Okay.
Oh, Remy. Kelly, see, you're going to get along with us just fine. This is going to be so fun. I love that. Okay, let me get back to what matters here instead of me sharing all the fun things in life. Okay. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay, friends, here we go. What are we doing now? Ooh.
We're going to run through these really quick because essentially the market hasn't really changed from the time I've talked about it last time. You can see, so from the data dive that happened, both David Arbit and Lawrence Yoon feel like listings are going to slowly tick up, but it's still going to be really slow. We're still in a seller's market, depending on what area you're in. These numbers are what David Arbit threw out there. Alexandria, if you can see that month supply is at 2.3, which is a seller's market. Anything under 4 is a seller's market. The Brainerd area, the Greater Lakes, which goes all the way up to Park Rapids, is at 2.8, and statewide we're at 2.2. And I think if I remember the number right, and please correct me if I'm wrong, we are 80,000 listings, 80,000 properties short in Minnesota.
That is correct. Yep.
And so we are still, which is why we're pushing into the listing piece and getting your listing presentations, because there's going to be a lot of people competing for the same listings because there's not as many. We are seeing a little bit of loosening, but not a significant amount. It's slow. These are just the month supply of inventory that we've talked about in times past. You can see in 2026 right now for January, we're still all in a seller's market. This is Alexandria, Sauk Center, Crosby, Ironton. And then this one's Park Rapids, Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo. And so you can see we're all there. Park Rapids is a little higher at that 3.7. So almost at a seller's market, but still not there yet.
Okay. Fun things. All right. Faith, this is you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, so just going back to all the talk about the CB Canva that's available now. If you didn't get the email from Coldwell Banker, I also sent out an email just kind of with some information about how to get in there and how to get started. So yeah, it just kind of gives you the opportunity to create high quality branded marketing content with ease. Coldwell Banker has provided so many branded templates for social media, presentations, flyers, and more. And then they also have all of the brand guidelines and the kit. So all the logos, fonts, colors, photos, videos, and more. It's all included in there and it's very easily accessible in any design that you're in so that you, if you need a reminder on like the logo parameters and everything like that, you can quickly check. It's just like a little add-on on the left side menu. And then there's also the integration of the Coldwell Banker app. Right now it's called the Anywhere RE app, but they're going to change it eventually. So this just allows you to drag and drop your listing, agent, team, and office data. So any photos, descriptions, branding, contact info, the whole nine yards. So that's really nice. And then with this, we are saying goodbye to Marketing Center. The official retirement date for Marketing Center is February 28th, 2026. I believe they said if you want to keep it, you can set up like a paid version of it, but you have to contact them. But yeah, I think, you know, your best bet is to just switch over to Canva. It's the best. So if you do have any designs in Marketing Center that you are still using or still want to use, definitely go in and download them. If you download them as a PDF, you'll be able to open them in Canva and you can still edit them. All the text, images, everything will still be editable. So that's really nice. So that's a big action item there. And then if you want to go to the next one, as mentioned, there's that live Canva-led agent training tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I put some helpful links in our link tree if you guys are looking for, there's the CB Canva 101 video. And that's just really nice, again, to get started. And then there's also a link to the CB desk, which is where you can kind of find the tutorials, the resources, and FAQs and all that kind of stuff. And then there's also the link for that training tomorrow. And that's all I got.
Sweet deal. Our link tree has become incredibly used. I was looking at the stats behind it because I thought, you know, how do we make this so much easier for you guys? And this idea came, and I'm just impressed that it's being used. So if there's something in there or something else that you think should be there, let us know. Otherwise, I actually heard of one agent created their own link tree for their own shortcuts because you can actually save, you know, essentially this website as an app on your phone. So it looks like a home screen button for quick access. And so it's kind of a little mini dashboard for you for all the things that you need. And hopefully there's everything inside of there that you need. If it's not there, then I would just check the quick links in Bay because I know that's where we end up dropping a lot of information in there too for you as we continue to move on. So with that, oh my goodness, we are going to end on time. Holy buckets. We were very nervous and cut a bunch of stuff out of this meeting. So you are going to see, you'll get an email from Katie. You'll get one from me. And so I think that'll pretty much cover it unless I miss something. But we are so thankful for you guys. February is here and it feels like spring should show up at some point in time, regardless of what the groundhog says. The dummy. Somebody shove him back in his hole. Anyway, the idea here is that we will survive and we will persevere. So as always, you guys, appreciate you. Thank you for everything you're doing to be a part of our team and helping us grow and expand and do awesome things this year. So I'm really looking forward to it. Bless you all. You are dismissed. Thank you.